neza. Rinda ubuzima bwawe n'ubwa mugenzi wawe, tugira igihugu kizira ibiyobyabwenge. Rubyiruko, nimwe musingi ukomeye w'igihugu. Radio Imanzi, 105.1 FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi, news in English.
This is Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umuganwa. By Fiona Umuganwa and Imanzi Prince. The headlines. President Paul Kagame today joined the launch of the Pharmaceutical Equity for Global Public Health initiative at the COP27 taking place in Egypt. Honorable Protem Musoni, the chairman of the Pan-African Movement, says that writing is one of the ways to boost the Pan-African movement. Thousands have been stranded at Nairobi Airport as pilots' strike enters fourth day. Welcome back. News in detail. President Paul Kagame today joined the launch of the Pharmaceutical Equity for Global Public Health initiative at the COP27 taking place in Egypt. President Kagame was joined by Maya Amal Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, Wena Hoyer, President of the European Investment Bank Group, and Hom Keller, Chairman of the Kenap Foundation. President Ali of Guyana and Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Director General of the World Health Organization, also participated in the event virtually. The leaders launched a South-to-South cooperation initiative aimed at developing and manufacturing 60% of all essential contemporary pharmaceuticals within Latin America, the Caribbean, and Africa by 2024. Honorable Protem Musoni, the chairman of the Pan-African Movement, says that writing is one of the ways to boost the movement. Manzi Prince continues with the story.
He made the remarks during the celebration of International Writers' Day 2022, held under the theme Africa Literature and the New Norm of Technology and Creative Writing. The event was hosted by Rwanda Writers Federation in Kigali. Honorable Musoni pointed out that writing spreads knowledge and information, which helps in raising the consciousness of the Africa we want.
Book writing spreads knowledge and information, and if it can be acquired, internalized, then you raise the consciousness of the African towards the Africa we want, where the African has dignity, the African is prosperous, the African is free in all sense of the word, and the African is peaceful and well governed. So book writing is critical because it reaches even the person you don't know. So it's a non-selective. As it only becomes selective in the language you are using, but once written it's gone, then everybody can be able to pick it.
Richard Hategekimana, the president of the Rwanda Writers Federation, said that despite the difficulties they face, writers are working to find solutions.
Thank you so much. I'm called Richard Hategekimana. I'm the chairman of Rwanda Writers Federation. We are very happy. We are celebrating International African Writers Day. It is a day where all writers in this country are happy, are enjoying, are celebrating their achievements, because writing books is not easy. It's not an easy game. So, but today, we thought about that journey of writing books, of struggling, of publishing. And now, if you have books that have been published, so you become happy and you can confirm that you have successfully achieved your goal. Yeah, generally, writers across the world have different challenges, including financial means. Financial means of it means that those are the funds of publishing books. It is somehow complicated, and it is a challenge for the writers. Another challenge is the skills level, skills wise. Yeah, the writers need skills of how they can write the marketable books and the books which can help the country's economic development or social well-being of the citizens. So, but as Rwanda Writers Federation, we are here to support and to educate those all challenges. Yeah. Generally today because of Writers of Rwanda, we are traveling because for example me, I've traveled in the United States of America, in the states like Washington D.C., Boston, New York, and I have acquired so many knowledge, and those knowledge helped me to write books and to increase my level of writing books, my spirit of writing, my initiatives, and creating innovative books. It is so generally it's okay, it's good. Sure. Rwanda Writers Federation already have started analyzing and describing those sort of challenges by using different barometers. The first barometer is one which is called PESTER analysis and even SWOT analysis, and we tackle those sort of challenges. So, and we come up with recommendations and strategies. First recommendation is to support writers, training them, and we have started that program. It's a free program, free training. Number two, we are advocating them to different partners so that they can get B funds of public.
Several writers have received awards for their outstanding work. The authors thanked the Federation for the honors and expressed their gratitude for the recognition of their effort.
I'm very happy this day because I can say that we didn't beat around the bush as African people used to say the books are just nothing, but at least the work of our hands has been recognized, as I can say. So I'm happy for it. What's a very rocket science question? It's a very, 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 very hard, but I can tell them that there's something they're missing. Because as you write, your mind explores the different dimension of life.
And your message to readers, your audience?
Keep reading. You didn't beat around the bush. Yeah, thank you
so much.
The Rwanda Biomedical Center is aiming to vaccinate 2 million children before the year ends. The RBC is confident that it will reach its goal of immunizing 2 million children between the ages of 5 and 11 by the end of 2022. More than 3,880 schools, which are acting as the primary vaccination centers, are still participating in the major rollout of immunization programs for kids that began on October 3rd. Nearly 1 million children have now gotten at least the first dose of the COVID-19 immunization, according to a weekly report issued by RBC. This trend has given RBC hope that they can vaccinate all 2 million before the year is up. According to Julian Niyingabida, the Rwanda Health Communication Center's head of communications, with the help of all parents, they should be ahead by the beginning of December. He also pointed out that this will call for more efforts to educate and persuade certain parents who may be hesitant to allow their children to receive vaccinations. The city of Kigali promises to address issues with construction permit and land transfer delays. Delays in property transfers and building licenses will be significantly reduced by 2023, according to the city of Kigali. The declaration was made in conjunction with the week-long discussion of land transfer concerns currently ongoing at the Ichikondo Expo ground, led by Merit Mhabgenamagulu, Kigali's vice mayor in charge of urbanization and infrastructure. The action was taken in response to an evaluation by the Rwanda Civil Society platform, which revealed that residents are criticizing delays in land transfer and arguing for prompt government action. The National Land Authority says that the maximum period for land transfer ranges between 1 and 18 working days. However, the study revealed that there are delays in the land transfer procedure, causing homeowners to search for it for more than a month. Additionally, it was discovered that some sectors lack land notaries, and thus there is a small personnel responsible for managing land services. According to Mhabgenamagulu, adjustments are being implemented to address the raised complaints. He said the city is designing settlement sites in different parts and the demand for land transfer and construction is on the rise. Therefore, they want to address the delays in land service delivery. He continued saying that they anticipate putting an end to the delays in the provision of land services by 2023.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
The Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report. The trading session recorded its turnover of 6,200,000 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in 2 deals on the fixed income market and 586,800 from 3,300 shares traded in 3 deals on the equities market. Bank of Kigali closed the counter at 272 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded its turnover of 272,000 Rwandan francs from 1,000 shares traded in 1 deal. I&M Bank closed the counter at 170 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded its turnover of 289,000 Rwandan francs from 1,700 shares traded in 1 deal. Equities counters closed with Simirwa at 120 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 174 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, and RH Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
To stop the spread of Ebola, Uganda's Minister of Education, Janet Museveni, has mandated an early third-term closure of the nation's primary and secondary schools. The minister's directive would force the schools to begin their breaks as early as November 25th, even though they were supposed to begin on December 9th. 8 of the 23 children who had been affected, according to Janet Museveni, have died. There had been 48 fatalities and 131 confirmed virus cases nationwide as of November 3rd. Thousands have been stranded at Nairobi Airport as pilots' strike enters 4th day. Imanzi Prince continues with more on this story.
Kenya Airways was forced to cancel 75% of its flights due to the ongoing pilot strike, leaving thousands of passengers stranded. After failing to come to an agreement in negotiations with management over better working conditions, members of the Kenya Pilots Association started their industrial action on Saturday in defense of court order suspending it. Their requests include the corporation paying salaries owed from the COVID-19 pandemic era and easing a hold on payments to the Personal Provident Fund. The cancellation of flights by Africa's second largest airline is having a huge impact on travel across the continent, While some people have managed to find alternative flights, others have not been so lucky, as the aircraft often transports 150 tons of fresh products to Europe and the Middle East. It is also anticipated to have a severe effect on Kenya's exports.
Former Comorian President Ahmed Abdallah Sambi is to be tried on charges of high treason. The former head of state, Ahmed, who is also the main opponent of the current president Azali Asman, was originally prosecuted for embezzlement of public funds, corruption, forgery, and use of forgeries in the scandal known as economic citizenship, which involved the sale of Comorian passports to stateless people from the Gulf states. Ahmed Abdallah Sambi was placed under house arrest in May 2018 for disturbing public order and then in detention for 3 months later. The legal length of pre-trial detention in the Indian Ocean archipelago is a maximum of 8 months. Less than 3 months after the evacuation of French troops from Mali, French President Emmanuel Macron will formally declare the end of the Barkhane anti-jihadist operation in the Sahel on Wednesday, according to the Elysee Palace. The French military presence in the area won't be impacted by this declaration. There are still about 3,000 French soldiers stationed in Burkina Faso, Chad, and Niger. The force counted up to 5,500 soldiers at the height of its deployment in the Sahel, pushed out of Mali by the military in power since 2020, which is now working, although it denies it, with the sulfurous Russian paramilitary group Wagner. The French army left the country for good in mid-August after 9 years of fighting the jihadists. However, it stays in the area and continues to battle jihadist organizations related to Al-Qaeda or the Islamist State group, which are progressively expanding their operations into the nations around the Gulf of Guinea. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.